Alright guys, welcome back to this week's riveting art video. I am back, I am better, my voice is loud and clear and not squeaky. So before we jump in, I want to remind you guys that all of the artwork seen in this video, as well as any of my other Inktober videos, every single drawing will be available on Redbubble, which you can get on a variety of products. But I don't want to bore you, I just want to jump into this video. So let's start on prompt number 13, Ash. So I did have an idea to do Spider-Man from the Avengers trilogy, where he's like, I'm not feeling so good, Mr. Stark, and then he turns into ash and blows away. But I try to stay away from copyrighted fan art material as much as possible. It doesn't always happen, but just it's not cool. So instead I did the extra coolest thing, and I wanted to practice drawing hands. That's really what it boils down to. But here we have a hand holding a cigarette, and I must say I am not a fan of smoking or, encouraging smoking. It's not cool, okay? But I really wanted to draw the smoke, and I wanted to practice drawing hands. So here we are, but I had to say that little bit, my 2 cents. Alright. On to prompt number 14, day 14, Overgrown. And so my first thought, I was thinking like a house with vines growing up the side of it, or like a house where the lawn hasn't been mowed and stuff. But then I started like thinking of like hair, like someone with really long hair, and it took me down this path on Pinterest of these like antique photographs of these women with their incredibly like long hair and like brushing them out. So if you go to my Pinterest board, you'll see the photo that I referenced for this, and like it's just so beautiful. Amazing stuff. So that's what I referenced here, and it was really fun to do this braid. I've drawn braids kind of sketchy before, but never like done a full out illustration where I like actually rendered out the hair on a braid, and it was really meticulous, and I was a little scared a few times whenever I was doing the line work, but I think it might have been worth it because looking at this, it looks so nice. So I'm happy with it. I was just imagining somebody getting a pair of socks with this drawing on it on my Redbubble, and kind of makes me laugh a little bit because why would you want this on a pair of socks? But hey, to each their own. Alright, so on to day 15. This one's interesting, you guys. So my first thought, so the prompt for this day is legend. For some reason, the first thing that popped into my head, also watch me struggle with these arms. I redraw them like 20 times. Anyway, my first thing that popped into my head when I thought of legend was PewDiePie. But once again, I'm like, I allow myself to do one fan art drawing a week, okay? That's how it's gonna go. And we do a fan art drawing this week. We get to it, I promise. But instead, I started thinking about urban legends. And there was an urban legend that I called the Boo Hag. Big long story about this like pretty girl who can like take her skin off and it like unravels, but then she starts flying. Long story. I'll put a link to the full like lore and legend of the Boo Hag in the description. So I did a woodblock print on it whenever I was like a sophomore in college. So I kind of revisited that composition. I can't come up with something brand new every day. It just like is not gonna work. So yes, I borrowed a composition that I have done in the past, but the other one was a woodblock print. This one is ink and fine liners. Thank you. It's different. At least that's what I'm gonna tell myself. My boyfriend walked out when I was working on this, and he gasped and said, "Copycat." I was like, I can't copycat myself. It's just me doing the same thing a second time. Thank you very much. So yeah, on to Day 16 Wild. I think this one might be a favorite of mine for this week, or just in general. I don't know. I did a couple of really good drawings this week, starting on this one and then on number 18. But I really like this one. I could really just, I just love it, okay? So I was gonna do a deer girl, and originally my thought was like, oh, a ginger girl, she's got like freckles and like these antlers, but I was like, that's kind of like low-key been done, because as soon as I started looking up some references for like a human with antlers, like I searched deer girl because I needed some antler references. I just saw a lot of like ginger-ish girls, or like blonde white girls, and I was like, hello, we need representation. So I decided to go for a kind of racially ambiguous, I don't know, I didn't think about it that hard, but a darker skinned, like super like what's the word, super like classy looking like deer girl, like I'm out here like galloping through the woods, I am the queen deer, come at me brusky kind of vibes. And I broke out my gold metallic Posca pen for her eyes, and you know what, she's serving looks, we love her. Represent all those dark skinned deer girls out there. It's a niche market, okay? And then I gave her lots of freckles because I love that for us, and definitely gave her some glistening glow with the white gel pen. Almost went overboard. I really had to stop myself from really just giving her sparkles everywhere. I think I gave her the right amount of sparkle. It was just enough. I needed to contrast the super black hair. Alright, so now we are on to day 17, Ornament. So again, you always start out the day with a couple of cliche ideas, like a Christmas ornament with like a person shoved inside of it. And then my brain started going into that weird contextual space that that I got from college. And I was thinking about, what if, we think of ornament, you think Christmas tree ornament, you think of an object that you hang up and you set, and you get cool and pretty ornaments in the hope of compliments, honestly. You're like, I want my house to look pretty. So I thought about how you could, have a person in your life just be an ornament for you to look at. It's not that deep, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. And so I thought about putting a person kind of on this pedestal that's like frozen like a statue as like an ornament. But I was like, wait, what if we step back and we go from the perspective of that person and how they might feel like they need to put this mask on and to come in to this mind state to be that person for someone else. And you could think of this as like a relationship of like boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to say. Or even like if you think of like show moms who dress their daughters up for pageants and stuff, like maybe the daughter just feels like this pretty thing for her mom to show off. I don't know, I just kind of liked it. I don't know. So then we have prompt 18, Misfit. I just had to do an angsty teen, okay? I couldn't resist. I gave her the weird little like half eyebrows. She's got a band-aid on her cheek. She's got a striped turtleneck with a black t-shirt over it, and she's got scraggly hair, okay? I actually really, really love how this drawing turned out. So I'm a little stuck between if I like this one or my prompt for day 16, Wild, more. You guys let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Heck, maybe neither of these are your favorite. Maybe you really like a different one. But here you see I've been experimenting more with the textures I can create with the ink. And I love how this background turned out. I'm going to have to use that technique in some future Inktober videos. I really am starting to feel like I have a grasp on using ink, which is what the whole point of Inktober is. Like, I just love how this one turned out. I felt like I had the most control over the medium that I've had at all so far. Whew. Alright, one last one to go, and I told you there was fan art this week, so here we go. So, prompt number 19, Sling. I thought of a slingshot, which made me think of Animal Crossing. So yeah, we have just the classic slingshot with a little present and a balloon tied to it. It's not much deeper than that, so I'm going to use this time to talk a bit about when you hit a road bump in the middle of Inktober. And for me, that was more last week than this week. I am a week ahead on Inktober, as you can probably tell if you do the math, because this video will be coming out on, I believe, the 14th, and we are on prompt 19 right here. I am talking too much. I gotta get to the point of talking about burnout. I think for week 2 was the hardest for me. I was just super busy doing work, doing this, doing that, and like to come home and then have to like put a little drawing out. I don't know. But right now, as I'm recording this voiceover and I've just finished this slingshot drawing, I am feeling so motivated to keep going. I think it might be a balance between being really happy with the way the drawings came out this week. I mean, you're about to see a quick little lapse of all the drawings we did in this video. I think I just love how they turned out. I loved using the ink medium. The first week I was just really like fighting that material and wishing I could use color, wishing I could just use my colored pencils. I miss my colored pencils. But now I'm starting to feel like I've got a grasp on it. And also my videos have been doing really good, which is thanks to you guys, so thank you so much for subscribing. I really don't want to keep you too much longer, but thank you for watching. My views have been up, my subscriber count is up, and it's really validating, and I appreciate all of it. So thank you, and I'll see you next week.